Did you know that there are over 200 neighborhoods in Calgary? So how do you know where to live? Whether you're buying your first home or planning your next move, it can feel overwhelming. Some neighborhoods are trendy, others are family friendly, and some neighborhoods everyone's talking about might not be the best choice for you. So in this video, I'll break down the top 10 neighborhoods in Calgary as voted by Avenue Magazine, and also give you my take on this list as well. Let's get into it. All right, so let's get into it here. And first things first, again, this list is from Avenue Magazine. If you're unfamiliar, they're like a lifestyle magazine focused on Calgary. They do a very good job. And their list, I think it's pretty good. There are some things that I would take out and put in. And again, it's just my opinion, so take it for what it's worth. And if you're watching this and you can use some help, feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to help you out. So let's begin here. And I'm using the order from Avenue Magazine. And their first one up is Elbow Park. So Elbow Park is a fantastic neighborhood. No surprises here. This is one of the more expensive parts of Calgary. And I think it's quite scenic. It's very hilly. It's right next to the river as well. You've got older historic homes, mansions, right next to cutting edge modern designs. So very pricey. Lots of park access in Elbow Park. You've got Sandy Beach Park, River Park, and Stanley Park all within close proximity. You've got the Glencoe Club. You've got all the walking and running trails along the Elbow River. And just a fantastic neighborhood, walkable to downtown and all the shops along 17th Avenue and Mission. So just a great central location. And it's quite pricey though, but this is one of the more expensive parts of Calgary. And if you like Elbow Park, you might also consider Upper Mount Royal, which I think it might be a little more expensive than Elbow Park, but they are quite similar. There's also Rideau Park, Roxborough, Alboya, Britannia. This whole chunk of Calgary is kind of similar, and they're all in a similar price range. So you can't really go wrong with this part of Calgary. It is one of the best parts of the city, in my opinion. And next up is Kensington, which I think is a great part of Calgary and definitely should be in the top 10. So Kensington is actually a region of Calgary, not a specific neighborhood. And the neighborhoods that make up Kensington are Sunnyside, Hillhurst, and West Hillhurst. And I think this is a great area. It's definitely just across the river from downtown, very walkable. It's trendy. Again, it's walkable with great cafes, shops, bars, and restaurants. I personally go to Kensington quite often for wing nights, pub nights, riding my bike, jogging down the river paths. So it's definitely got a lot going on for it. I think it's perfect for young professionals and creative people who want an urban lifestyle. And the one thing I don't like about Kensington, not too many things I dislike about it, but the one thing would be driving down 10th Street and connecting into the downtown core. It can be a bit of a nightmare sometimes, just with pedestrian traffic and a lot of cars trying to connect onto Memorial Drive and the downtown area. It can take a while to cross over that intersection, but that's a minor thing. So it can be best on foot or by scooter versus driving if you can. And if you like Kensington, you might also consider Bridgeland, Mission, Cliff Bungalow, maybe the University District nowadays. But in terms of being in the Northwest, there's not too many neighborhoods that are very similar to Kensington. Again, one of the best spots in Calgary, in my opinion. And I just realized what I was saying actually was cut out. My phone malfunctioned. So what I was saying is that Kensington is great for creative people or maybe young professionals that want to live in the inner city but not directly downtown, but not too far away. And the last thing I'll mention about Kensington is, depending on where you're from, you might be a bit disappointed because it's not that big. It's like 4 or 5 blocks. It's not that built up. And next up is Mahogany, which I think is one of the better neighborhoods in Southeast Calgary. And I think it's a great example of a master plan community. So Mahogany, it has all product types. It's the largest lake in the city, great shopping options. Some parts of it are actually walkable. It has good transportation routes in and out of the neighborhood. It is one of Calgary's most popular lake communities with tons of new homes and very family friendly. So it's great for growing families who want space, schools, and outdoor recreation. There are a few schools in Mahogany already, and more are being built. And if you come here at the right time of the year where it's quite hot out and you check out the gazebo in the lake area, it can feel like a different city. So it's quite nice. I like the downtown kind of walkable square. So I think a lot of stuff going on for Mahogany. It's definitely one of the better parts of Calgary. And if you like Mahogany, you might also want to check out Auburn Bay, which is very similar to Mahogany. It's a bit older, doesn't have as many shopping options, but still quite nice as well. And next up is the Beltline, which I think is kind of like the Manhattan of Calgary. It can be the perfect location for the right person. So the Beltline is great for people that want to be downtown, live kind of where you work, and be close to all the bars and the restaurants. This is where you'll see all the high-rise condos, the most lively part of the city. And so you got the nightlife, you've got the amazing restaurants, great for people that are single or young professionals. And it's also great for people that want to kind of live where they work and be able to walk everywhere. This can be the best spot in Calgary for that. If you like the Beltline, you might also consider areas like Kensington I just mentioned, Bridgeland, Mission, Cliff Bungalow, maybe even the University District. Those are probably the livelier parts of the city. But I would still say that the Beltline is definitely the most lively part of Calgary. And next up is the University District. Now, if you haven't been here in a while, you might be in for a bit of a surprise at how much it's grown in the last couple of years. It's very built up nowadays, and it's becoming a really cool part of Calgary. So this is one of the most walkable communities in the city. It's modern and master planned with great access to the university, the hospital, new shops. I think it's great for students, young professionals, even teachers or professors who are working at the university. I find myself coming here quite often as well. So I think it's good for everybody. It's definitely a new up and coming part of the city, and there are not many places like it. It's very unique. I think maybe the downtown part of Mahogany, like the village area, might be a bit similar. But other than that, there are not too many parts of Calgary that have the similar vibe to the University District. It's definitely very unique and very up and coming. And if you haven't seen it yet, I would definitely check it out. And next up, we have West Springs. Now, I just made a video on this whole community about a few days ago, actually. So if you are interested, check out my channel. I got a full video for you. West Springs is definitely one of the more popular parts of Calgary. Suburban, but upscale with good schools, shopping, and a quiet vibe. I think it's great for families or professionals who want a calm West Calgary lifestyle with good access to the mountains and some of the more popular schools in the city. I think it's clean, safe, above average to very expensive with, again, great schools and decent shopping. And if you are interested in West Springs, you might also consider the neighboring areas like Cougar Ridge, Aspen Woods, and Springbank Hill, all great neighborhoods on the west side of Calgary. Next up, we have Inglewood, which I think is definitely a more unique part of Calgary. It is actually the oldest neighborhood in Calgary, and it's a favorite for creative people, entrepreneurs, artsy people, anyone who loves a character home with personality might like Inglewood. Lots of cool pubs and restaurants here. You get lots of festivals and markets as well. A good spot for artsy people. I like that it's walkable to downtown and all the pathways along the river. I think one of the concerns nowadays is with the heavy development all over Calgary, will Inglewood lose its charm over time? Because right now it's kind of old and it has some character. And a big question is, will it become more modern and not as recognizable? So that's one of the concerns I think some of the locals have with what's happening in Inglewood. But definitely, I think it's a very unique part of Calgary. Again, the oldest part of the city, and it's definitely the most artsy neighborhood that I can think of in Calgary. If you like Inglewood, you would also consider Bridgeland, comes to mind, Mission or Kensington. So these areas might be of interest, but I would say the Inglewood still has its own kind of vibe. And next up, we have Midnapore. So Midnapore is a laid-back lake community that still feels affordable compared to some other lake communities in Calgary. It was annexed into Calgary in the 60s and still has that kind of old school suburban feel. The private lake is obviously a huge draw. Fish Creek Park is right there as well. I think it's a great choice for first-time homebuyers and for growing families who want space and lots of park access. There's decent shopping in the area in Shaughnessy and Somerset. Now, my own opinion, when I saw Midnapore on the top 10 list, I was a bit surprised. I like Midnapore, nothing wrong with it. I think it's a great neighborhood. It's definitely not in the top 10 in Calgary, though. I would probably say it's like in the 30s or 40s. There's a lot of great neighborhoods in Calgary. And for example, I would put Mahogany ahead of Midnapore. I would put Sundance. I would put Lake Bonavista. There's all sorts of neighborhoods in South Calgary that are equal to or better than Midnapore, in my opinion. Nothing wrong with the neighborhood. I just don't think it's worthy of being in the top 10 for all of Calgary. Now, if you like Midnapore, you might also consider Lake Bonavista, Mahogany, Auburn Bay, Chaparral, Sundance. These are also all lake communities in the south. Next up, let's talk about Bowness, another controversial pick to be in the top 10. Bowness used to be its own town and still has that kind of independent town vibe. Bowness Park is one of the nicest parks in the city. If you haven't been skating on the pond area in the wintertime, you should definitely check it out. Very cool experience. In the summertime, Bowness Park is also a good kind of jumping off point for tubing on the Bow River, which is very popular in the city. The neighborhood itself is a bit of a mixed bag. There are parts where they look really nice. Like, wow, there's like a $2 million property backing onto the river. There are parts where that look kind of dumpy as well. So it's definitely a mixed kind of neighborhood. Very family friendly though. There are lots of schools in Bowness. I think it's a good area for younger families, for investors. One thing I don't like about Bowness right now is it seems like everything is being turned into a townhouse project at the moment. I don't live far away. I live in Montgomery, which is the neighborhood over, and I drive through Bowness quite often, and there are townhouse projects all over the place. So I think we're definitely having a bit of a density issue happening in Calgary with our new zoning laws. And it looks like Bowness is ground zero for these types of projects. So that might be a bit of an issue for some residents with all the construction going on and how the character is changing in the neighborhood. Now, my own opinion, I probably wouldn't put Bowness in the top 10. I like the neighborhood though. I think it's got a lot to offer, and it's definitely an up and coming area. Lots of development happening, both for residential projects and for commercial space as well. Easy to get to the mountains. It's not that far from downtown as well. I like it, but I don't think I'd put it in the top 10. And if you like Bowness, you might also consider Montgomery, just the neighborhood to the east of Bowness, not that different. Again, I like it, but I probably wouldn't put it in the top 10 in Calgary. And last on the list here is the neighborhood of Saddle Ridge, which is in the deep northeast. It's a newer community, definitely very multicultural. You've got good access to the LRT stop at Settletown Station. You've got good access to the Genesis Center, which is like a very nice modern recreation complex. Good access to the airport and transportation routes. Lots of new homes around this part of Calgary. Now, my gripe with Saddle Ridge is I find it's too expensive for being in Northeast Calgary. There are some properties here selling in the $900,000 price point. If it were me, I would take that money and I'd go to like Edgemont or West Springs. I wouldn't be spending that kind of money to be in Northeast Calgary. This is just my opinion. I just find it's too expensive for where it is in the city. So I was a bit shocked to see Saddle Ridge in the top 10 for all of Calgary. I don't want to be offensive, but I can think of 100 neighborhoods I would put ahead of Saddle Ridge. But again, just my opinion. Now, if you like Saddle Ridge, you might also consider Skyview Ranch, Redstone, Cornerstone, Homestead. Lots of new neighborhoods are in the deep northeast part of Calgary, which might be of interest to you. Well, there you go. That's my take on the top 10 list from Avenue Magazine. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out, call, text, email, or comment. I will get it and get back to you. I'd love to be a resource. If you go to the pinned comment, I've also got a buyer's guide, seller's guide, and a relocation guide, all free for download. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to help you out, and I will see you on the next video.